a small portion of the population that says, pump the brakes. How can you determine that Drake Maye is looking like the best quarterback in the league? So, but I appreciate the sentiment from Greg Olson.
He's already climbed. I mean, he's climbing the ranks, the power rankings. USA Today in the last 3 hours dropped their going into week 6 NFL quarterback power rankings. He was 6 last week. He's 5 this week. So he's getting the attention of everybody that he should be. You know, I mean, the people above him. To Wiggy's point, the best. One of the best teams, the Lions, which you've been on since the beginning. So it's Jared Goff, then it's Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, then Drake Maye.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like, you know, as far as young quarterbacks in the league right now, I think Drake Maye is obviously up there, and he looks good. He's continuing to do a good job. He looks like he's headed in the right direction.
I mean, Greg Olson is right. He made some insane throws, and he... You know, I give Steph Diggs as much credit on the throw that he is referring to as I do Drake Maye, because broken play, and Steph Diggs is veteran enough to keep running and get himself open. But I mean, just.
But why do we ever want to pump brakes? What's the point of it? Like,
I don't know.
They played really well in the second half. Drake Maye was spectacular. They won a game that was their signature win in. Biggest regular season win since Brady left.
I think it's people who didn't like the pick and want to be right about it sometimes when it comes to that.
But it's just in this context, like, what did they do Sunday night that they will have a hard time replicating?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
It was very kind of vanilla. Like, that's the thing.
Right.
Is you can expect even more from this team. Drake Maye, the last 4 games, in the second half of those games, on 3rd and 4th down, is a perfect 14 of 14 for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns. This guy, when it matters most, on 3rd and 4th downs in the second half of games, he has been perfect.
And that's why I said, and even on the other side, what didn't Buffalo do that they can, like, do extremely different the second time you play them? Because I thought Josh Allen had a good game. I thought that, you know, it wasn't a game where they had a whole bunch of turnovers where you go, all right.
He's probably not going to turn the ball over, like, you know, the fumble that football the way he did.
Right, but they had what?
Interception.
They had 3 turnovers. I mean, there's a chance Josh Allen throws you an interception when you play them again.
Yeah.
Right? So they had 3 turnovers.
And technically, you had 2. You just happened to fall on one of them.
Yeah, and so I look at it wasn't one of those games where, like, the Pittsburgh game where you go, all right, New England's not going to turn the ball over 5 times. When you look at the Buffalo Bills, there are a few things that they can change, but it wasn't like something that, and this is why I always say, they didn't go out there and lose that game. New England went out there and beat them.
And their game plan against Josh Allen was the best they've had on him.
It was so good.
Like, every time the Patriots played him in the last 4 or 5 years, he was breaking contain. He'd be running along the line of scrimmage looking for a guy. If nobody was open, he'd run for 12 yards on a back-breaking 3rd and 8. Like, that, the way that they contained him in that pocket and bothered him and got him angry. Like, when do you see Josh Allen showing any negative emotion on the field?
And then even when he gets out of the pocket and gets to the sideline, he can't cut it upfield because they have the spy on him and they're containing him and they're forcing him to make a pass and be perfect. And you get, you know, plays like Christian Gonzalez breaking up the pass on Khalil Shakir.
Yeah, that's it, just being plastered on that wide receiver. Yeah. You know, when Josh Allen does break the pocket and he extend those plays and those off-script plays, you as a defensive back, and Ty will tell you this, and even Vrabel said, you got to make sure you're staying plastered to those wide receivers. Don't get to peeking in the backfield and possibly losing those guys.
But here it is. Here's the perspective in a text from Rhode Island on the Subaru of New England text line. 1 good game in 2 seasons. Slow the roll, folks.
What do you mean 1 good game?
Yeah, he's had good games. The team around him has had some real stinkers and the ones that he's had good games, but that wasn't Drake's first good game.
Did he not watch the Panthers game or the Miami game just this season? Like the 2 of the last 3 games prior to this one? He was great in both of those.
Greg, he hadn't come back in the 4th quarter to lead a team on a game-winning drive in his career. And we were having fun with Mac Jones, 4th quarter guru, and Drake Maye hadn't done it. He did it. It was awesome. like that was one of those wins where it makes you believe that there's the chance that this team is really heading in the direction you thought it would.
Wiggy, text for you. I am your number one fan.
Oh, good morning, Toledo.
But come on. 11 penalties for 90 yards and four turnovers is not something the Bills do generally.
It was 3 turnovers, and the Patriots had 8 penalties for 93 yards.
Right. You had more penalty yardage than they did. So what I'm saying is if you watch that Bills game, it wasn't a game where you go, all right, the Bills lost it. They had control of it. They lost it. They had too many turnovers. Turnovers led to touchdowns. It wasn't one of those games where you looked at and you go, all right, New England, they caught a break, they got lucky, and they took advantage of that opportunity. New England outplayed them.
But do you feel that way about Pittsburgh's win over New England?
I feel like Pittsburgh's win over New England was you did a tremendous job against Aaron Rodgers. You choked that away. Yeah. That's a loss that you gave away to Pittsburgh.
You outgained them in yards.
Pittsburgh didn't beat you. You gave that game away.
This is Walter from Boston. Hey, Walter.
Hey, guys. Vrabel's always been pretty good against Josh Allen teams. But I was going to say my favorite thing about Drake Maye, besides his talent, is he's not going to get douchey, like just the way he is. And a movie, Wiggy, I can't believe you forgot this one. That's a Boston movie, The Equalizer. Equalizer 1, but have a good day.
Yep, Equalizer 1 and 2.
You love Denzel.
Yeah, he's such a great actor. I got to watch his new movies, highest to the lowest.
If you were rich, first thing that you would do, you told me, was hire Denzel to just perform for you at home.
Sit.
Yeah.
Said Denzel.
Specific roles, or like, would you want him to show up in the pilot outfit from that film?
No, like just like certain scenes, like
Gladiator. I mean, you want to,
hey,
Shai would hire someone to kick him in the nuts in the dungeon while watching Drake Maye film.
I would just hire Drake Maye.
Yeah, just grab me a beer, Denzel, but I want you to do it as Alonzo from Training Day. You know what I mean? But no, The Equalizer. I forgot about that. Another great movie.
Yeah, but then you get the art. It's weird. Like that guy is saying, well, Mike Vrabel is exceptional. He coaches exceptionally well against Josh Allen. So it's
the next 4 games,
it's a fluke. It's a flash in the pan.
The next 4 games, I think, are going to be critical. These are 4 games that you should win.
Yep.
And if you're able to do that, then I think that's when people will start to say, okay, the Patriots are for real, right? It is you beat a very good team in Buffalo, and then people are going to be like, pump the brakes. But if you go out there in the next 4 games, and you don't have to blow out your next 4 opponents, but those are all 4 games that you should win. If you go out there and win those 4 football games, heading into the Tampa Bay game, people are now going to be like, okay, New England is for real. Could this be Super Bowl pre-matchup?
Yeah, I mean, but don't you think, like you just heard Greg Olson, don't you think that people believe they're for real now?
No. I think people are impressed.
I'm not talking about people here who are, naturally question everything and don't want to give Mike Vrabel any credit, don't want to give Drake Maye credit. Don't you think around the league?
Nationally? Yeah, I think so.
I don't.
Yes.
Greg, the sports books have them at -200. -200 to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I think when they look at that Bills game, I think that you still have people that say it was a sloppy game by Buffalo, and that's why the Patriots won. I was talking to some Bills fans yesterday about it, and they, said all through the game they didn't feel good about it because Buffalo was making mistakes they don't usually make.
Yeah, I don't think anybody believes the Patriots are better than the Bills. But what that game showed you was that you have the ability to actually close and come back in the fourth quarter. And
you can compete.
What Vrabel needs when you're a new coach instilling a culture is you need to have some evidence that's successful to get the buy-in from everybody. And that's what that was that week, Greg. The whole week, we talked about it yesterday. He said, this is our opportunity. We're going to be in prime time. Embrace it. Every player in that locker room that talked about the excitement to play in that game on that stage. And then in the biggest moments, they outperformed the Bills.
If they win the next 4 games, will you think that people will be like, okay, the next time they play the Bills at home, that game's going to be for the team that's going to win the division?
Yes.
And that's the way I feel. So that's why these next 4 games are that critical. Because if you win these next 4 games, then people will say, all right, even if you lose to Tampa, The division is going to come down to when you play Buffalo at home, because you should beat the rest of the teams that you're supposed to beat. And if you're able to beat Buffalo at home, if Buffalo has to come here in the playoffs, don't you think New England can beat them?
I also think that it's going to be important watching the next four if Steph Diggs keeps it going, keeps it rolling, or if that was kind of like just a game, a comeback revenge game for Steph Diggs, and then you go into a game against the Saints and you get a Steph Diggs that's okay, but not,
but it looks
as
like
good
he's
as he
getting
was.
better.
Yeah, he had 100 against Carolina, too.
I agree.
So he's at least headed in the right direction.
Who do you guys want after the Patriots get the bye? Who do you guys want to play in that second round of the playoffs?
I don't know, but do you not see it?
I'd love to stomp on.
Yeah.
But is it not
We're just
possible
like,
though?
if they go 12, if they win their next 12, then they should be
Right.
Yeah, but if I ask
22 in a row?
No, but if I ask the room a simple yes or no question,
I don't think the Patriots are going to sweep the Bills this year.
you would agree with me. You would agree with me that they win their next 4 games.
Yes.
You would agree with me that they probably maybe lose to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, but if they win their next 4 games, I think a lot of people look at that game as it's anyone's, and I think that if they continue on this streak, then yeah, the next Bills game at home, people are going to look at that as
And
it's
then if
anyone's
they
game.
do split that game, you might end up with a better record than Buffalo, because you look at who Buffalo has to play versus who you have to play.
I would say a very fair expectation would be 3-1 in the next 4.
Agreed.
Even great teams don't win every game they're supposed to win. This is a young team.
I mean, I agree with that.
Like, if they lost to the Falcons 4 weeks from now, I wouldn't be stunned.
If they lost to the Saints, I wouldn't be stunned. It's the NFL. I don't think they will, but like
right, but that's the point. That's where I'm at. Based off of what they are doing, it's cliche to say anybody can lose on any given Sunday. You can go down the Bills schedule and go, okay, the Bills could lose this game.
Right. I think they'll win 3 of 4, and that will be successful in the 4-game stretch they have coming up.
Right. So for you, if you look at their schedule and you look at the way they played against and not just Buffalo, but how they kind of been trending in the right direction as far as the way Drake Maye has been playing, for you to think that this team can't be a legitimate contender for the AFC, and I'm not just talking about the division, I'm talking about the conference. Who in the conference then, if you don't believe me and you think I'm smoking major weed, who in the conference you got?
Well, you brought up the Colts.
We know you're smoking major.
What are the Colts?
You have to respect them. They're 4-1.
Yeah.
No. But I'm saying going into the season,
But we're not talking about going into the season. We're talking about
Because
right
going
now.
into the season, we didn't all think the Patriots would be
That's
this
my
good.
point. We're talking about right here and right now.
Yeah, but what you're asking is who are you looking at in the AFC that gives you pause? And I'm just bringing up the Colts and the Bills. Both
So
give
if
me
you
pause.
play
Well,
the Colts,
and the Chiefs, I don't think you can count the Chiefs.
I'm not
out.
counting the Chiefs out, but if you play the Colts in the playoffs, you don't think that you could win that game?
We could, but we could
You
also
wouldn't
lose
be,
it.
but like
it's
to your
not-
point, Wiggy, you wouldn't be favored in that game, right? Like if you're playing,
If
the
it's
Colts
at
in the
home, if it's at home, you'd be favored.
as currently standard right now, no, the Colts would be favored.
No,
if the
they
Colts,
wouldn't. If
the Colts
it's
were coming
at
to
home-
Gillette this week, the Colts would be favored.
Sean, the Colts are playing with Daniel Jones.
Danny
Wiggy,
Dimes.
I'm
Dimes.
very well aware.
The same Danny Dimes that we saw for the New York Giants last year.
Do you think Robert Kraft should get the calls on the sideline and maybe have a headset on? Do you think that would help the Patriots' chances against the Colts?
And I would say
Maybe they are playing for that new owner though, Curtis.
She
Maybe
runs up and down the field.
Maybe they're playing for Jim Irsay.
Wiggy, just for
Jim Irsay's
reference,
memory.
like the Colts are 6.5-point favorites over the Cardinals. You're a 3-point favorite over the Saints.
right, because you lost 2 games.
That's what I'm saying. If they were to play right now, the Colts would be
right
favored.
now. But let's say when we get to where we're going to get to,
We got to win those games first.
right?
So
But the Colts have to do that too.
Yeah.
You're counting on.
I agree, but
you're
we can only
counting
go on based on what we have.
You're counting on Daniel Jones like that. If you said the Kansas City Chiefs,
And you're counting
I
on
get
like
it.
12 rookies.
I feel like the Colts should really play inspired ball for the delivery driver that got attacked by Mark Sanchez.
Like I just don't get people and this is the maddening thing to me. I don't get people how they're all of a sudden oh, the Pats are playing well, and then when you say, well, they got a legitimate chance just as everybody else, and you go, well, who else in the AFC do you have to worry about? And then the first thing they do is say the the Colts.
Well,
And it's like,
They're
that
a
was
good
me,
football
so you
team.
could just.
Well,
it's like, really?
What about Jacksonville? Is Jacksonville for real?
And they're another team that's like Jacksonville, the Colts.
They lead the team. They lead the league in takeaways.
Right. Their head coach.
Shine, but that's my point. We are now looking at the AFC and saying
They
that
just beat the Chiefs.
no, but we are now looking at the AFC and going, it's Jacksonville and the Colts. Like that's who you're competing against.
Gonna go on forever.
It's not
But
like
we aren't the same Patriots that we once were. So it's like, yeah, of course those are the
right.
teams that we're competing against.
You're a better team, just like the Colts and the
We're a better
Jacksonville.
team than last year.
But just like the Colts and Jacksonville Jaguars are a better team.
Yeah.
Like those are the teams you're now competing with.
Correct.
You're no longer competing with
If the Chargers came to Gillette, who's favored?
The
Pats.
Patriots right now. The Chargers have a
Right.
million injuries.
That's my point. Like you're no longer competing against the Chiefs of how they used to be, the Baltimore Ravens, and when we saw with Lamar when they were blowing doors on
Yeah, but if
anybody.
the Chiefs came into Gillette tomorrow, the Chiefs would be.
I
favored.
would agree with that.
Okay.
Wiggy 617 text for you. I don't know about the accuracy of it, but Patriots have never swept a 3-game road trip. Never.
And I'm not saying they will.
Not under Bledsoe or Brady. You were just saying they would. Yes.
I do think they need to win this week. This cannot be the one that they drop. Like if they go out and put up a stinker against the Saints on the road, people are going to look at that Bills win like it was a massive flub. So at least get through this week, and we really should only be focusing on this week because then you've got the Titans and Vrabel's revenge game. Like anything can happen there. But going into the week against the Saints, they need to put in the same energy as they did against the
Right,
Bills.
but we're focusing on the here and now, right? The same way we're focusing on the here and now with Jacksonville, the same way we're focusing on the here and now with the Colts, right? Because those same teams could also implode and lose 4 in a row.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that when you start to look at who you're competing against, you're not competing against juggernauts.
In the Twitch chat, comment guy from the 413. This comes from Wiggy, the guy who thought COVID was going to be over in a week.
Which it should have been.
Right.
How wrong were we about that?
You did have it fizzling out.
It should have
Well,
been.
look at Sweden.
I mean,
Let's get Maciek Boney back.
COVID was the dumbest thing ever,
It was.
and it should have been over in a week. All it was the flu. I mean, people are now getting COVID, and it's like, oh, I'm out with COVID. Oh,
Be back for lunch.
yeah, exactly. It's like, really? I mean, come on, people.
I need to go buy a test. I gotta go to CVS and get
I still have a lot.
You do.
Right.
I'm
Just left over.
It's not surprising you have a
It
lot
was
of
the
anxiety.
dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Jesse. Hello, Jesse.
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
What's up?
Hey, I want to back up Wiggy a little bit here because I think he's absolutely right. Where we're not really in an AFC anymore, where there is any more juggernauts. Quinn, I know, buddy. Sorry, that's my son. His water bottle's empty with water, so he's not happy. But I want to we kind of echo what Wiggy said is there isn't really a juggernaut in the AFC anymore. So, it's not like years ago when people were like, oh, God, we got to play the Patriots. We know we're going to lose. That doesn't really exist. The Chiefs aren't great. I understand the conversation about the Colts, but, I mean, they haven't really had a great schedule, to be honest with you.
The Bills,
they lost to the Rams, but
the Bills are that team.
No, the Bills are not that team.
I don't know,
They are not
but
that team, Greg. The
But
Bills are
are
not
they,
that
though?
team. No, they're not.
They were 4-0.
yeah, I
They were
don't think they
4-0.
are anymore.
They're not. I agree with you,
I don't think
Jesse.
they are anymore. I think they were, and then
third
that
in the
kinda
league
just
in
to
points per
piggyback. I get it. But I think this goes back to what Curtis just said, is that in the NFL, at this point in time, any team on any given Sunday can lose. That wasn't the case 10 years ago. I mean, the Patriots, you knew they were going to win. I mean, even like Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers win, so that doesn't really happen anymore. And I think the door is open. So,
I
but
get
that's
that
my
there's a
kind of
lot of
feedback.
wide
parity,
open.
but there's teams that are better than you. Like on
But
paper,
we're not saying that there are teams that are not better than you on paper.
Yeah,
but those
I
teams that are
understand.
better than you are not juggernauts. You're talking about.
No
Is
one's
that the
saying
word of
they
the
are.
day?
Well, yeah, it's
No one has said that the Colts are some dynasty in the making. Like nobody said that.
right, but
They're
it's-
just saying that they're better than you.
yeah, right,
'cause
but
they are.
But they might be better than you. But if you went there and you beat the Colts, no one would be shocked.
No, because
That's
the
my
Patriots
point.
are a good football team.
That's the point that I'm trying to make. There is no if 2 years ago, this was 2 years ago, and the Patriots went into Kansas City and beat Kansas City, we'd be shocked because Kansas City was that good, or even a team like Baltimore 2 years ago, or even the Buffalo Bills.
Or the Bengals week 1.
Yeah, last year with the Buffalo Bills. Or like Curtis is right, the Bengals last year week 1, you're like, what the hell was that?
People overreacted to that. I didn't.
No, but I could see why people overreact.